Hey everybody, Chris Crouch here from Burbank Krav Maga. Um, so we are starting our Getting to Know Us series while we're all down with this self-isolation for COVID-19. We are taking this opportunity to just make a couple of videos. And when I say we, I mean all of the instructors at Burbank Krav Maga. And not just some of the instructors, but also some of the senior students. I want to get some of the black belts sharing their background stories also, just so you guys can get to know us a little bit better. So me, real simple. I was actually born in Heidelberg, Germany. My dad was in the army. He was a chaplain's assistant for 21 years in the army, and so I was born in Heidelberg. And we about every 2 or 3 years we would pack up and move. So Heidelberg to let's see, Colorado Springs, Colorado, to Amarillo, Texas, to Lawton, Oklahoma, back to Germany. Finally, we ended up in San Antonio, Texas for my eighth grade year, and I ended up graduating high school from San Antonio, from the military base in San Antonio, actually. Cole Junior Senior High, same place that Shaquille O'Neal graduated high school. Thank you very much. 2 years earlier than me, but all the same. So, after high school, I joined the Navy. It was something that, joining the military was something that was just in our blood, on both my mom's side and my dad's side. We've traced our roots and our ancestors all the way back to the Revolutionary War. Both sides have served, and that's just what we do. So there was no pressure. In fact, it wasn't even a conversation. In fact, when I told my parents that I joined the Navy, they were both shocked. They were proud, but they had no idea that I thought about that. And the truth is, I hadn't thought about that either. It was more one of those things where, hey, senior year is almost over. Haven't taken an SAT, haven't taken an ACT, haven't looked at colleges, haven't looked at scholarships. Hey, there's a Navy recruiter, and I pulled in and talked to the guys and figured out what I wanted to do. I actually got a chance to go into naval intelligence, and it was a cool experience. Graduated high school on, let's see, was it May 24th, 1994. So it was actually my mom's birthday. I'm not going to say what birthday it was for her because I love her, but it was my mom's birthday. And on July 24th, I was in boot camp. So I wasted no time whatsoever. Joined, served 6 years, got to travel to a lot of different places. Got to I went to boot camp in Orlando, Florida. I was one of the last companies out of Orlando, Florida before they closed that down. Went to Monterey, California for my first school, San Angelo, Texas for my second school. Went through air crew school, SEER school, which is a blast. Basically, high stakes game of hide and seek. That's how I explain that to people. And when people are like, well, what's SEER school? I'm like, that's survival, it's evasion, it's resistance, it's escape. It's the high stakes. It really is a high stakes game of hide and seek. That's really all it is. It was an interesting experience, definitely an interesting experience, but I enjoyed it. Afterwards, I enjoyed it. So eventually, I ended up getting stationed in Rota, Spain. Flying on planes around the Mediterranean, and it was kind of a cool experience. So I got out in 2000, and I think I ended up moving to California. Let me see, Patty, my fiance or my girlfriend at the time, we had actually just broken up. I was planning on heading out to California with some friends of ours, and so I packed up and moved back to California. After I got out of the Navy, I'd gone back to San Antonio for a while. That's where Patty and I met, and moved out to California. Patty ended up moving out about nine months later. We still remain good friends, and at some point we started dating again. And eventually I realized how stupid I was by not marrying this awesome woman. And so we ended up getting married. And we got married in 2008, on March 8th of 2008, and on April 24th of 2008, we started doing Krav. So I'm going to let everybody know a little secret. This is something that very few people know. This is how I found out about Krav Maga. You ready? VH1 Celebrity Fat Camp, or Fit Camp, whatever they called it. It was a horrible reality show. I think it was the one with Willie Ames. Some of you guys may remember him from Charles in Charge. Um, uh, so, so we had gone back to San Antonio. I was it was March. It was springtime. I have horrible allergies to oak. Okay, there are oak trees all over the place out there. So I spent most of my time when we were back in San Antonio visiting family, celebrating our marriage, celebrating our wedding. Holed up in my mom and dad's house in a bedroom with the air conditioner on high, Kleenex stuffed up my nose, popping allergy meds like candy, and just watching TV. And Celebrity Fit Camp. Um, One of the challenges was a Krav Maga challenge. I'm watching this thing. I'm like, man, this is kind of cool. Get back to Burbank. Looked up Krav Maga in the area. Found Chatsworth Krav Maga. Called Master Cox. Set up an appointment. Turns out we knew a couple of people. Just small world kind of thing. We went out, we did our first class on April 24th. I was in. I was hooked. It was absolutely awesome. We signed up that day. Yeah, so now you guys know how I found out about Krav. Some people are like, oh, I saw it from, watching, what is it, Enough or whatever that show was with it, that movie with, I'm going blank. You guys are going to hate me for this one. But yeah, I mean, everybody has their different stories. Yes, mine was VH1 Celebrity Fit Camp. Sorry. I had always had an interest in martial arts. I'd actually done martial arts when I was in the military. I studied a Japanese style of jiu-jitsu called Seibukan Jiu-Jitsu, a lot of joint locks, things like that. It wasn't a competition art. It was billed more as a self-defense art. And I think that was one of the things I loved the most about Krav. Just the fact that at no point did Master Cox say, hey, anything that you've learned in the past, forget it because it's all Krav. Instead, it was like, oh, okay, you've done this and you understand some joint locks. Well, cool. Let's just add that into your, let's add that into your Krav. Let's Krav that up a little bit. And so when we started doing knife disarms and even gun disarms and stuff like that, a lot of that just made sense to me. And again, I think that was one of the things I loved the most. At no point, especially at Chatsworth, because Chatsworth started off as a Tong Sudo school, because we have people like Master Carlin who and even Master Cox who study multiple martial arts. At no point was there this attitude of forget everything you know, you can only think about Krav. Instead, it was, hey, we're going to teach you some very effective ways. But by the way, if don't forget what you already know, because it very well may fit in with this system. And so it was just, I don't know, there's something about that. When I finally got to start teaching Krav, I knew there was something to it. I love the idea of empowering people, helping people out. One of the things that Master Cox told me one time, and it just made so much sense, and I really think about this. He said, um, he said the mat doesn't build character as much as it reveals character. And you see that a lot, like even during belt test. You're doing a 7-hour belt test, a 12-hour belt test, and you start to see who just gives up. And when you stop and look at stuff like that in life, and again, this isn't for everybody, but it's one of those things where I look at some people who just give up halfway through a test, and I'm like, okay, so this is what you do on during adversity. Interesting. I'm curious as what your life is like, and I hate to say it, but a lot of times it shows. And those people who push through, sometimes that's the first time they've ever really pushed through anything. I'm one of those guys. I've quit a lot of stuff in the past. And when I started doing Krav, this is one of those things where I was like, I'm not quitting this. And even with the business and like starting the school and everything, it's like, no, this is what I do. This is who I am. I've got my 3rd degree black belt now. I'm looking forward to doing 4th. It's gonna suck, but I'm looking forward to it. And it's just that don't quit attitude. And for me personally, and I know that there are people out there, I've had conversations with some of you guys where it's just up and down. I don't know if I can do this and that. And I actually went through that at Greenbelt. I very much went through that green belt. When I was talking to Master Carlin, I'll never forget this conversation. I just told him, I was like, I don't know if I want to continue with this. And he and I had a really cool conversation. And afterwards, I was like, okay, cool, keep going. I've had the same conversation, like I said, with some of you guys, where green belt seems to be the thing. Let's get there. Okay, I've been training for about a year. Maybe I'm done now. And I'm like, no, just keep going, keep pushing yourself. And I think that that's been one of the coolest things about doing this, getting to watch people push past their comfort zone, getting to watch people actually learn more about themselves from training on the mat. And, it's just that whole thing where it's adversity. What are you going to do? It's tough. What are you going to do? And it's so much about when we train, when I get to teach, when I get to work with people, it's not necessarily about Krav. A lot of it is about life. And it took me a long time to realize that. And I think that's one of the reasons why I want to see people succeed. I want to see them work. I want to see them sweat. I want it to suck, but I want them to succeed. And I really do think that even right now, through all this adversity, just through coronavirus, COVID-19, having to spend we're on day 7 of me staying at home with my kids. My God, get them out of here. Through all of this sort of stuff, watching the community come together. Watching the school come together, watching the different organizations come together, watching people actually just looking out for each other, has been great. It's been so cool, and just getting to see how everybody is stepping up and helping each other out right now. It's huge, and we need more of that. And I hate to say this, and this is going to sound callous, and I know that somebody's going to take this wrong, but honestly, I'm not going to say that this is a good thing, that all of this virus is going on. I know it's very, very serious, but at the same time, I think it's bringing out the better angels in some people. I think that it's bringing out some good in people. It's helping us remember that, at the end of the day, we're all in this together. I don't care what political slant. I don't care what sexual orientation. I don't care what race. I don't care what. Look, at the end of the day, this coronavirus does not care. And so getting to see people actually step up and help each other right now, even as I'm going through the stores, I'm actually seeing people be nice to each other in the stores. Yes, we see the fights and everything, but I'll tell you what, I have seen fewer fights and more people helping each other than anything else. Just good conversations, if nothing else, from 6 feet away. But it's been awesome. And I know that I've just gone a huge tangent right now, but at the end of the day, for me personally, it really all does wrap back to martial arts and the community that we build with each other and the strength that we find in ourselves. And you know what? That's Krav for me. That's what Krav has done for me. That's what Krav has done for my family. And I hope this lets you guys know a little bit more about what's going through this head right now. And again, kind of where I've come from, and what you guys mean to me, honestly, because you mean a lot. You really do. I appreciate you all. I thank you guys for being part of our school. I thank you guys for trusting us and our instructors. You know what? You guys are family, and I love you guys. Stay safe. Be on the lookout for some more videos from our other instructors, and we will. We'll talk to you later. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and wash your hands, you filthy savages. All right, bye-bye, guys.